say one thing, just give me a reason. Know you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. With the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Okay, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Here, between the Philadelphia Eagles and our home team. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go. 15 line. 15 line. Here we go. Here we go. Look. Squeeze. Snap.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
64. You're out.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. James has got it. Complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you...
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Damian Ratley, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. That's a great response. You give up the first score of the game, but you go right down yourselves and get the equalizer.
I just had a flashback there. I remember playing in a game like that in college where one of my teammates had said in the media that week, the opposite team would be lucky to cross our goal line. They crossed it in the first minute of the game. On our first offensive play, we scored to answer back. Something similar to what we just saw there.
Very similar to what we just saw. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Push him back.
And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. They'll try the left side. It's Arnold. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 1.
down. 10-2 stop.
Check, 59. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Ready, ready. 8, read.
3 ball.
2nd and 5. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go, here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. 61, Matchbox White. Ready?
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That really sets him back. A loss of 6. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Jump.
General West. Shoot.
Back to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
At their own 20-yard line.
Go now.
The Charger drive about to get going. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Right back to him on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. To throw on 2nd down. Fry. And he finds Howard complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
59 Mike, check, 59.
Hey, exit. Let's go. 5.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Second and 9 now. And that is going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Charger drive about to get going. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Go. Hey, high 7. Let's go.
On 2nd down now, it's Arnold. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ready. 90 Wolf.
Through 1 quarter, 9-7 our score.
We got 3. Go. 8-3. Hey, wahoo.
Back to throw. Fry, flushed out right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Fry. Escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. How about that? Their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off, too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
1st down, Eagles.
Let's go. 30 base. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Let's go.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here we go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Got it.
The Charger drive about to get going. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Here's 2nd and 8. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. A gain there of 21 yards.
Ready? Mike is 59. Mike is 59. I got one. Check. Crouch. Topper. Big grip.
On 1st and 10. Fry. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Looking to throw. Fry. And he fires one incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
The Chargers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Ready?
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. He'll drop to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He'll look to throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
Ready, set.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. He may try and run, and it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. And it's good. It cuts it to 2. 16-14 our score. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Fry eluding the pressure right. That's caught by Howard. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Fry. Looking for his receiver. Sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10.
Hey, lock it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to launch this thing into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Hey, Haywood. 59. Mike 50. Go close.
Looking to throw on second down. Fry going to throw deep for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Woods. And that takes us from second to third down. So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun. Fry looking for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 44 yards away. Badgley able to punch this one through. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. It's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yard. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 8. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Looking to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
He sets to fire deep, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Fry And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. On first down, Arnold. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Check 59, Mike is 59, Mike is 59.
To throw on third down, Fry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Fry. He'll buy some time right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
On third down, Fry, flush to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Hey, exit.
Now back to throw. Going up top. And that is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Got it.
The Charger drive about to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On second down, it's Arnold. Tough running there before being wrangled down shy of the 15. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Hey, high 7.
To throw on 3rd down. Fry. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. On is the Chargers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And that'll hit and go out of bounds, so they'll start just outside their own 40-yard line. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Ingram again. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
I'm going back to you.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's James.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Here's Ingram. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Set 50, plant. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Ingram again, a 1st down carry. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On 3rd down, Ingram. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
And his kick here is good. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Let's go.
The Charger drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Arnold trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
3rd down and 12.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That good for 19 and a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Arnold. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play there for Philly. 47 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh. Watch the recon. 132 fighter. Ready?
On second down now. Monroe, and a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Eagles are going to win the football game. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Eagles, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.